Ladies and gentlemen, from the Microsoft Theater here in downtown Los Angeles, brought to you by Shawn Porter Promotions. Live from Los Angeles.
I got it.
No, not this. I don't care about that.
Ant looked nervous, like there was a test going on.
No, I was trying to get something out.
He said, I missed last week.
Yeah. Yeah, we here, baby. Let me tell you something. Hey, if I was here, I would have said Amir Khan would have got it slept in the first round, but you guys want to be Mr. Nice Guy. What's up with you? You guys stop being Mr. Nice Guy.
I picked Brook to win by knockout.
I know, but I feel like I knew.
I picked Brook, but I was wishy-washy.
Yeah.
I thought it was at any moment when the bell rang. I was on one of them one night.
Stop being wishy-washy. Get your britches out your booty.
I'm ready.
That sound like an old.
Get your britches out your booty. Well, Ant and I, we got to prove another one of Ant and I's theories where if Ant's here or any of us are here, they complain. The Ants go on, they're like, oh man, where's Ant? Man, I don't even want to watch the show without Ant.
That was crazy. People saying I was trying to get a raise.
But then this week the comments are going to be, man, why is Ant back? You should have left. Him off forever.
Last week was our first week since we were over there at
Blue Wire.
Also, they thought I was playing you, huh? They thought I was like, hey, Shawn gotta pay me.
Thought you were Ben Simmons?
Nah, man, kid stuff. That won't happen again. If I gotta miss again, I'm about to put my kid up for adoption.
Hey, early. Keep telling my wife to sell mine.
Hear that.
So
yeah, I'm definitely gonna get
you
in
will, and I'm gonna get in trouble too. So listen, welcome to the Porter Way Podcast. When you have a
your
moment,
wife gonna snitch.
Oh yeah, when you have your wife gonna snitch on me. When you have a moment, shop ShawnPorter.com. We do that.
ThePorterWay.com.
ThePorterWay.com. Use code TPWP. Get 20% off.
Boom.
There's a promo code.
He didn't
Go figure.
Hey, he gets so much money, he don't even understand. Look at him, baby. That's nice.
Listen, before we get into last week and all that kind of stuff, we're going to get into last week, but we got Kid hyping back. Kid hit me with something nice. He said, listen, I know you ain't on the social media that much. I'm hitting it and everybody's on your ASS. Let's do a little bit. Let's get some of that out there for you. So we got Kid here for about 10 to 15. We're going to go through some social media stuff, and then we're going to kind of clear up what was messy from last week. Mm-hmm. And that'll be the last time we do this.
Okay. I didn't think this was related to that at all, but maybe I misunderstood the segment.
Well, hey, I just made it about that.
There you go.
Yeah, right?
I don't know where Shawn is going right now. I'm trying to
I
Shawn,
think,
what is he implying?
Yeah, I think he is going to show clips that we're going to react to.
That's right. But listen. This is what I know about me. If I'm hot, I cool off really quickly. Right. So in order to stay hot, I gotta keep myself.
Not in this studio.
I gotta keep myself like heated up. You know what I mean? So you'll figure it out when I get there.
All right.
Let's go, kid.
All right, cool. So hey, if you could bring in the first clip, Mike Tyson was doing some things during the Super Bowl. I want to get your reaction to that. And let me know what you think of this. Boy B Marshall over there. Mike lands that nice body shot.
Look at him. Then he down.
When your uncle gets too drunk. Your uncle had too many drinks at the party.
So what you think, Shawn? Mike still got it?
Oh yeah. I think Mike's talent, again, we were talking about talent the other week. You know what I mean? I think Mike was the kind of guy that everything that he had in the ring was natural. And once some questions were delivered to him, it was really hard for him to bite down in moments and answer those questions. We saw definitely later on in his career, but even, I don't know, in his 50s now, he looks very good and he looks like he could really do some things in the boxing ring. We saw him do it against Roy. We didn't see the best of Mike against Roy, but I heard he wanted to do it again, and we haven't seen him yet.
That reminded me of what Ant and I talked about before Mike Tyson fought Roy Jones. We're like, Mike will snap at some
I was
point.
worried. I was scared.
If he starts to do the swaying back and forth at the face-off, that's what happened there. Brandon Marshall messing around. Mike was like, he's like, wait a second.
We're back in the ring again.
Yeah, he thought it was Holyfield.
Mike came with a real 6-punch combination right there. Yeah.
And then you saw Brandon shadow boxing afterwards. He wasn't doing much in the
What if he bit his ear?
That would have been unbelievable.
Why everybody go back to the ear biting?
He shouldn't have did it.
Damn, man.
Brandon Marshall, 6'5", Mike had to fight guys like that all the time. And you see the move he did, the double jab to get inside, dip to the side. He had to work so much just to get in range against the behemoths of the heavyweight division. So
Lewis.
that's part of why, you know, you mentioned it became hard for him, certain questions when they came in the ring. I think part of it is he had to work so hard just to get in range as a little guy that he had to be perfect coming in, jabbing your way in. Like his double jab had to be 2 pistons and then a perfect dip to the side just to get in range. Like that wasn't even really the offense. That was just the setup offense.
Isaiah Thomas, Joe Dumars to get in there.
John Lee always coming with the astute boxing knowledge. He broke that down like a real fight.
I tell.
Because the thing is, like, he's completely right.
Of course.
Like speaking as a small guy fighting a lot of bigger, taller guys, you do a lot of work to get in. You probably have heard my dad say that. Why would you go back to the outside to start all over again? You know, and so I think that the quality that I had in terms of being able to box, use combinations, step around and things like that made it a little bit easier for me, so that it was almost like when I didn't want to work hard or when I wanted to let that moment go, it was like I always had another way to create that moment in different ways. So
Shawn, real quick, Keith used to compare you to Mike Tyson and say that you would do something similar when you bob and weave and get real low. Did you see any similarities with that little combo right there? Is that something that would have came out of your chamber too?
Yeah, as John Zeitel got serious on us and started really explaining it, I was like, it's like I was having flashbacks of like, what it takes to really do that. You know what I mean? So it's hard work.
All right, Hafey, let's bring up the next one. B. Marshall was going at everybody that night. That was Super Bowl weekend, and it's him versus Tio.
First off, no, punch that nigga. Punch him. Hit him, champ.
Yo,
what's up, bro?
Tio starts bringing out his taekwondo a little bit.
Yo, champ, fuck him up, champ.
Come on, champ. I feel like Marshall had a better chance with Tio. I don't know.
Yeah, Tio more patient. Tio more patient.
Big ass dog, Brandon, biggest dude in the room. Like 6'4", 250.
It's good to see Tio smiling.
Yeah.
See him laughing.
All of a sudden, I saw a projectile fly. I think Tyson threw a pillow there.
It's good to see Tio smiling and laughing, man.
With the Bob Knight
and people still showing him love.
The sport needs guys like him. He has a star quality.
Yeah, he does.
Not every fighter that is a champion is going to get Brandon Marshall's attention at a Super Bowl party. You
are absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
Shawn, is it possible, guy like Tio, elite, somebody who's the top of the top at their weight class, professional boxer, the size matter in real life at that point? If that was a real fight, is Tio taking him out? Who's winning that?
I'm gonna keep it real with you, man. I think that it's always the puncher's chance, but beyond that, I would put my money on the guy who's got the experience, who knows how to use his feet, get to the inside, box from the outside. The list goes on. You know what I mean? So I think that even in that position right there, you got 6'5" against 5'7", 5'8". I would go with 5'7", 5'8" because of his experience and him being a boxer, knowing what to do and what's coming back.
I'd like to see more body shots in street fights.
And street fights,
just like a scuffle breaks out and some.
Watch Errol Spence's cookouts.
It got to be a one punch. We're not out here to box all night, Carson.
Put somebody down with a body shot.
Watch Errol Spence's cookouts. Watch Errol Spence's cookouts.
Ant's the resident big
Remember
guy.
when he went body with that guy?
Answer that really good. Ant, do you think that you could take on a pro, like a pro lightweight?
Do I think I can take on a pro lightweight?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could fight lightweight.
Okay.
Hold on. What type of? Who you talking?
It'll be like a cat jumping on a pit bull.
Yeah, I'll beat that.
I think you were the pit bull in that situation.
You're the pit bull in that situation.
Hold on. What type of lightweight?
A cat jumping on a Rottweiler. How about that?
Let's say, I don't know. Ant versus Jorge Linares. I don't know.
I'll sleep. Leo Santa Cruz. I'll sleep Santa Cruz.
Oh, no, you can never go after Leo.
All right.
Take that back.
Sleep. Brandon Figueroa might get me. His pressure.
Yeah, you talking about breaking down the body.
Yeah.
Nah, you thinking about it.
Give me somebody.
You're even smaller than
Have your head spin around like The Exorcist.
Oh, come on. Give me somebody else.
I don't know.
Oh, that one dude that don't punch
Akhmadaliev.
back. The dude that don't punch back.
Akhmadaliev at 122.
He's gonna throw him. Throw him to the wolves. I don't know.
We gotta find a world champion.
I know you're talking about.
Yeah.
Just fought. King Tug? You talking about
not
Tug?
the dude that never punches.
How about King Tug? We saw him fight Chris Colbert.
Oh, you talking about Guillermo Rigondeaux?
Yeah, I'll talk.
He's 118
You said never
pounds.
I don't care. Okay, I'm trying to get the win. Hey, meet me at a catch weight of 300 pounds.
Is this you? What's the next one? Is this you?
Spider-Man.
The next one?
Oh no, that's Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, that's my boy Tom Holland doing this thing.
Oh yeah. I actually saw this one. Go ahead, play it.
Yeah, play it.
Yeah, play it.
Come on, play it. Hey, we got openings for producers.
We don't. I know everybody like.
Yeah, this is one of the videos that made me mad.
Spider-Man wants the smoke.
Okay.
Okay, pause it.
Okay, this video got me a little mad.
Talk to me about Spider-Man, Shawn, because
When
we
you
need
got
a
a-
small Civil War together.
When you got a little boxing experience, you know, you like to think you look better than the average civilian if you were to hit the mitts and do your thing, and then you see this motherfucker, this
Example,
Spider-Man actor guy come on, and he looks good. He looks shy. He looks like he might whoop my ass. So I wasn't the biggest fan of that clip, you know.
So you hate?
It was more of a
I was hating.
So you hate?
Hating on Tom
Seems
Holland.
like a jealousy thing.
Yeah, 100%.
Not a hater. Don't hate.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
If you throw him in there, he would piece up Green Goblin. Dr. Ock.
Right.
He got 8 arms. I'm not so sure about that one.
Based on that, him hitting the mitts, Tom Holland versus Shawn Zepeda will be a good boxing.
That's what I'm
Hey,
saying.
Shawn-
That's a good
Shawn
fight.
nice.
yeah, Shawn.
Sean's nice.
People don't know this,
I
but
seen
Shawn's got
shadow
experience
boxing,
in
so
the
I know
ring.
he's nice for sure.
I
Yeah.
got Spider-Man.
Yeah.
You got Spider-Man?
I think Spider-Man might be living a better lifestyle.
Yeah.
He got Zendaya.
So
He's got youth on his side too, maybe. Yeah.
Well, I thought he looked good. He looked sharp. He looked like he's been hitting the mitts for a minute.
he also shoots webs out of his hands. Like
Yeah.
that's hard to deal with in the
I don't
boxing.
think he
ring.
does that like right
in
there.
real
Maybe he
life.
does.
Yeah.
I think
That's not what I saw in the movie.
I think Margarito did something similar.
Is he in your top 5 of all the celebs you seen hit the pad, Shawn?
Right off the top, it's safe to say no, but I haven't seen that many guys hit the mitts.
So it's probably yes.
I gotta keep
So-
coming back.
yeah,
Kendall Gill was good, huh?
Kendall Gill's nice. Yeah, go ahead. Let's do the next one.
Let's bring out Thor.
And another one.
All right, let me say this real quick before we.
Oh shit! I feel like he whooped me.
Because I was trying to think, like, who have I seen hit mitts? I got a true story. I'm in Hollywood, and my dad and I, we went to a random gym. It was in LA, not in Hollywood, but went to a random gym, right? And again, last week I said I'm a big comedy fan, right? I seen this dude's hair. All I saw was the hair, and I knew exactly who it was.
Carrot Top?
It was none. Makes sense. Makes sense.
I ran into him at the gym before.
Makes sense, but it actually ended up being Craig Robinson. I don't know if y'all know Craig Robinson.
yeah.
So he's got the Pizza Hut commercials and all that right now.
From the office, the black guy from the office,
He's
the manager.
he's
of the,
actually pretty damn
the
funny.
manager of the
Everything
back
he's been
room.
He's been in comedy like since the early 90s. And so has had the same hairstyle since the early 90s.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget when I saw like the silhouette of his hair in the window.
It's like the Batman
I
signal.
stopped training. I was like, no, this ain't who I think it is. Ended up being him. And he was nice on the mitt. So
Okay.
shout out to Craig
Yeah,
Robinson.
if we run this one back, I think Ant pissed himself.
Yeah, I thought somebody was putting a pause on me, man.
It was like in the Oculus. All of a sudden, Ant said, "Oh, shit."
Yeah, let's run it back from the top.
From the top.
He's a little stiff though. Spider-Man was a little more fluid.
Little stiff in the ass. Little stiff in the ass.
Just don't get hit.
Hey, he got Porterway podcast gloves.
It looked like it though, don't it?
Yeah, we'll have to Photoshop that on.
New merch,
Photoshop
new
the
merch.
logo on
Clean.
Hey, he looked nice.
there. Yeah.
He looked strong.
And you got Chris Hemsworth and versus Chris Hemsworth. And versus Thor.
How tall is he? Oh, he's just a civilian. I'll
Come
fight
on,
him.
man. Y'all got
I'll fight him.
Yeah, come
Oh, yeah,
on.
I put pause on him. Oh, worse gonna worse. I'm grabbing you, and so boy, I'll get you on one of those.
Huh?
Ain't got southern strength.
Oh, here we go.
Ain't got southern
go.
strength. All right.
This dude.
Don't look like he got a muscle in his body.
Damn.
But this dude out of nowhere will do some like really like Hercules
Country strong.
type. Yeah, he country strong.
I mean, my job, I use a lot of
I
strength
was
at
gonna
work.
say,
What's your job?
Ant's just flat out. Ant's just flat out strong. I have seen you talk about Herculean things. I have seen Ant do some stuff where I was like, "What the hell? How are you? How are you
You ain't
strong?"
seen him pick up a 400-pound man though. I saw that.
Dang.
Ooh,
You keep
damn.
going
300?
back- you
What
keep
did we
going
say?
back-
Hey, he watching
going
too.
back.
250.
Person's
He 250 in
He's
the
about
half.
175.
Right.
You guys keep increasing his weight.
Yeah.
I don't appreciate it.
Yeah.
but-
He's
And
got
had-
hands like Shaquille O'Neal.
and pulled a big man out of a car, and I was
One
like,
hand.
in my mind and in my heart, in the moment, it was one hand. Hey, listen,
With
lifted him up
hostility,
like-
or was he saving someone's
like
life?
Thor's
I
hammer?
got out. I'm not gonna tell the whole story, but I got out, and I'm like, I'm behind Ant. I'm I'm not hysterical, nothing. I'm just like how we gonna get this dude out? I'm like this, right? And then Ant just was like, and I went from being like this to.
Because I was there and I said, there's no one that can help me get this big fool out. I got to get my guy out of here.
Nothing to do.
But he controlled it, right? You don't control the weight. Like, even people that do, when they done with that last one, they just let it go. He controlled him, sat him down, right?
I did do that, huh?
Yeah. It did. And then
Ant, under his head as he was falling?
And then Ant turned around and saw me. I was like, he said, you a fool. What you doing? I was like, I can't believe you just did that.
Damn, Ant's a legend. I didn't know he was strong like that.
Yeah. Let's get the next one. This is my superhero.
This is Jungkook from BTS, the biggest boy band. He's doing this thing on the pad.
They're in sync. He's like right now.
Serious business.
He got good pad work.
That was about 30 punches. How many punches was that?
Yeah, he was letting his hands go.
Yeah.
But I ranked Spider-Man first, him second, Thor third.
Sean, with the rankings. I love it. Okay.
I go with that. I go with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go with that. And he looks sharp too.
Speaking of Thor, though, Triple H, he tried to be Thor.
Oh,
Do
man,
we have any footage of Triple H on mitts?
He doesn't know what's coming, but I knew what was coming.
Hey, Fee, is there any way we could get Triple H on mitts?
Does that exist?
It's on YouTube. Oh yeah, I think it's on YouTube. But I don't know. You know what? This isn't fair of me to ask.
Fired him.
I know he brought Floyd out before. I remember that.
I just would like to see you guys' thoughts on his mitt work.
Hey man, Carson.
Nah, they don't got it.
Well, B. Marshall is looking for an opponent from everybody we just looked at. For his, pro debut, his celebrity match, who would be the matchup from everybody we just checked out?
Thor.
Yeah, I think Thor probably makes the most sense.
Yeah, I mean, out of everybody we just saw, but I gotta say, it's gotta be an athlete.
Run with Chad Ochocinco, right?
I don't want him in the ring with a actor or not and dancer. Not to say that they can't fight, but at least we know.
The matchup makes sense.
Yeah, at least we know if you're in the ring with another professional athlete, then the it's kind of even, a little bit more even.
I'd say B. Marshall and Ochocinco would be a good time.
Battle of the Hall of Fame snubs.
Ocho's gonna get in there.
I would take Brandon on that one.
I'll take Chad.
I'll take Brandon.
I'll take Chad.
You got it.
Because he actually fought before and I've seen him
Brandon.
fight.
Yeah, and I wasn't impressed. That's why I'm not taking him.
I gotta go B. Marshall because he's getting trained by my guy Eric Kelly, so I gotta go with the home team.
Oh, that's what's up. We gotta get Eric Kelly on here.
Yeah, he's crazy. He'll be.
He didn't fight Roy Jones, did he? I'm thinking of Glenn Kelly.
No.
Yeah.
Eric fought.
I'm thinking of Kevin Kelly
in the amateurs, though.
Oh, okay, he fought Andre Ward. Yeah,
in the amateurs. Yeah,
quarterback Jim Kelly.
You got some more for us, Hyphen?
That's it. I'm all out.
Hey, listen, I appreciate you checking in with us.
Kelly Slater.
Thanks for keeping us up on what's going on the social media, especially me. And we will check back with you on the next one.
Let's do it. Appreciate you guys. Much love.
This segment is brought to you by. If you want to sponsor, you can sponsor right there.
Left it.
But yeah. But can we, my guy? Can we add we can do celebrities and can people send in their sparring videos?
Absolutely. Let's do it. Let's make it happen. I'll be back here every week with some new clips.
Okay.
I dig it. I dig it. All right, now, Kia Hyphen, we'll catch you on the next one.
Catch y'all. Peace.
Yes,
Peace.
Ladies and
bringing it back. New show.
Okay, I like it.
We actually you mentioned we were looking for a producer. We have a new one today. So apparently, hit the ant noise.
Go. You got a button push?
Oh, we have noises
Come
now.
on, man.
Now I told you I couldn't cool off. I said if I cooled off, then I got to stay hot.
Okay, go ahead.
So I'm cool now.
Okay.
But it needs to be said, so I'm going to say it.
Okay.
Because shout out to Chicken Talk.
Yeah.
We're on Chicken Talk on Twitter.
Hey, I mean, Mike, it was a joke at first, but my gosh.
They asked us if we rewatch what we record and if we decide that we should edit anything out. I think we should. Seems like we should edit out everything that's happened and gone wrong with you back there.
Oh damn,
Mr. Producer.
Nah, he'll pull it together. It's a rough start, but he's gonna pick it up.
Yeah.
I'm confident.
So listen. They asked if we go back and watch anything that we say that we feel we should change or anything like that. And if I, felt like anything that I've said in probably the last 2 weeks, if I had any hesitance, if I was hesitant at all about putting any of that out. And so this is what I want to do. I just want to answer really quickly and hopefully let this be, unless obviously if I fuck up, then I fuck up. But I digress. Listen, I said the things that I've been saying in the past few weeks, not trying to push any buttons, not trying to get anybody to watch the show, not trying to disrespect anybody, not trying to put anybody down, anything like that at all. If you want to hear what's going on the Portaway podcast, don't go to any other channel that has my face or any of these guys' face on that channel. Come right here to the Portaway podcast. Watch our clips, watch our show, and you'll hear everything that's said. People are going to take this show, clips from this show, and they're going to twist the things that I say, the things that we say, and make it something for you guys to click on and watch. If you feel like I've been disrespecting somebody, my apologies, didn't mean to do that. If you feel like I was putting anybody down or picking on somebody, anything like that, didn't mean to do anything like that at all. I have over the course of the last couple of days explained a lot of the things I've been saying over the last couple of weeks, but don't get it twisted like, oh, Shawn Porter done retired, now he want to call out guys. It ain't that. Don't think that Shawn Porter retired, he bored, he just want to say whatever. It ain't that. I understand that I need to police myself. I try to do that. Understand that I need to be very selective with what I say, how I say it, and apparently who I say it about. And I will continue to try to do that. But this will hopefully be the last week that I'm trying to clean up any mess. I don't try to make the mess, and I don't want anybody else out there creating mess for me. If it happens on the Portaway podcast, let it happen here. Don't let it be because y'all saw it somewhere else and they twisted anything that I said, anything that my fellas on the podcast said. So that's what I was hot about, and that's what I wanted to make a clear understanding of is don't go anywhere that you're going to see any clips from this show. Go to the Portaway podcast channel or go to the Portaway podcast clips channel, and y'all will see everything that's going on here. You see it anywhere else, it's just somebody trying to get something started, and it is not the case with SP.
Yeah,
and the next reporter you see, slap the shit out of him.
Yeah, I mean, just to speak on Shawn's behalf on the same topic. An example of what you're talking about was you were talking about fighters and dedication in the gym, and Shakur Stevenson. You mentioned him in it, but not at all as an example of. Stevenson is what I'm talking about when I'm saying you're not. No. I think Stevenson is probably maybe the most dedicated young fighter in the game.
I believe so.
Right.
Actually.
So you're using him as an example as if to say, even him, with all the dedication and talent in the world, if you don't maintain it, things can go south, right? But people turn that into, Shawn Porter said Shakur Stevenson is not focused, is lack. That's just such a stretch of his words. So I'm just speaking on your behalf. If the boots thing, okay, maybe made more sense. It was easier for them to. But this one, the Shakur thing is just not fair. You just simply, people got to use their 2 ears and listen. You're just saying, you didn't say anything bad about him. You just said, you just picked one elite fighter to say it could happen to anybody, and you happen to pick Stevenson. That was it.
I actually kind of feel the opposite. I feel like the boots thing was just that was your direct quote. But
that's why I said the boots thing different. But the Shakur one is different.
I could understand it, to be honest with you, because it was something where you singled him out, where you're like, at some point if he's not working. So if you're looking for it, I get it. I don't think it was like a massive twisting of words, but you clarified it is what it is.
I get it if it's more you're questioning why that guy's name who seems as dedicated as anybody, but you can't take that and then run with it and say this is he in fact said Stevenson is the guy that lacks dedication. No, he's posing a hypothetical. It's not reality.
I think everybody forgot about, at the end of the day, what Shawn said is a true statement. You guys ran with the BS and da-da-da, but at the end of the day, what Shawn said, true statement, maybe he shouldn't have used Stevenson's names. Who cares? At the end of the day, what you said was facts. Yeah. That's facts all day.
And crazy thing about that is I actually have a lot of respect for Shakur Stevenson for 2 reasons. Number one, there was a point in time, might have been 2020, before the pandemic, maybe 2019. He happened to be in Vegas. Was like, hey, I want to spar. And I was like, dang, this guy wants to spar with me. You know what I mean? And that let me know very quickly what his level of dedication to the sport is, wanting to challenge me or challenge himself. And
like, matter of fact, my hip is actually flaring up today.
And then the other side of it is when DAZN did a dedication to me on the show, he was one of the guys that they called, like, hey, Shawn Porter retired. You wanna say something, do a video for him. And I was surprised because I don't have a like true relationship or friendship, not like, that of Keith Thurman or Demetrius Andrade. List goes on.
Not adversarial and not personal friends. You're so both boxers.
So in fact, when I saw him on my dedication, I was surprised.
Yeah.
And I was like, dang, I'm getting love for the youngins. Like that's tight. You know what I mean? So I got no ill thoughts or feelings about Shakur. It just happened to be that day or whatever, and he was he was in line. I mean, but that's when you're one of the best and you're one of the most talented. You know what I mean?
You're one of the names that's always going to be on the tip of the tongue.
Yeah, exactly.
It could have been Canelo.
Exactly.
It could have been, Spence.
Yeah.
Shakur is what came up.
And with that being said, and again, I'm not doing that to promote my podcast on my podcast. Or
You're already here.
My podcast on our podcast. I'm just saying, I know that happens because I blocked somebody because it was just every time I clicked on their stuff, it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. I kept getting hurt. I kept getting hurt. And so, number one, I don't want to do or say anything to make people come to the podcast just to say, oh, he said this, oh, he said that. It's not why I'm doing it or whatever the case may be. But at the same time, I don't want anybody else going to any other channels. If you want to hear what's going on here, come here. Don't go anywhere else because it's going to be something different.
Fair.
All right, I'm cool.
I also think I think it's a good. There's times for reactions though. Which if you do say something, people can react. It's an interesting conversation. But outside of that, I think
that's his thing, man. I'm not used to it.
What?
I said, damn, I messed up again.
Fuck it.
But go back to who messed up yesterday, Amir Khan.
I think his chin didn't show up again. For the 40th time?
Literally.
Yeah,
bro. When is he gonna bring his chin to the ring?
I think I think
you're born with in that department.
Yeah, I think he just has to. I think he just has to retire. He's accomplished a lot. Is what it is, and I think he mentioned afterwards the love of the game's kind of gone.
I'm asking these two.
You're asking me, okay?
If he takes steroids, will it help with his chin?
I don't know. I don't know how that works.
See the steroids wizard or something?
I don't think so.
Yeah, he's a steroid guy.
I don't think
he's
so.
Steroid guy.
I heard weightlifters go down kind of easy. Hit them on the butt.
I don't know. I'm not sure of that. Yeah, I don't know. After the fight, he kind of was like, just the love's kind of not there anymore. Which he had a great career. You mentioned last week you have a lot of respect for him. I have a lot of respect for him. Is what it is. Kell Brook beast him up though. Pretty good.
I think one of the biggest downfalls of his career, besides the chin, is waiting on Floyd Mayweather. He waited on Floyd Mayweather for a long time. Yeah. Long time.
Took the Canelo consolation prize though.
Yeah.
That's
a great.
Which
didn't end up being much of a consolation prize financially, sure. But
financially, right?
Yeah. I'm happy for Kell because I think Kell gets the win, and he also in this. If you look at the kind of the equation of it, he was the one they always. He wasn't as good as Amir Khan. And that was his angle. Was like, all these years they kind of downplayed me. And Amir Khan was like, your level's below me. Like, why would I even fight you at that point? Gets in there, does the business.
It was.
Kell Brook looked like Kell Brook that pieced up Shawn Porter and pieced up Earl Spence.
They said Amir Khan looked like Bambi on ice.
No, chill out, man. I'm just saying. Just give him a little credit.
No, let him talk about Bambi on ice.
But I'm also not. I also think Kell Brook should retire too.
Me too, man. Even with that victory, I thought this was like a
perfect time.
Exit fight.
If you're looking for a moment.
But he got hyped.
Yeah, for sure. And now Conor Ben wants to fight him. Chris Eubank Jr. wants to fight him. Man. People said Keith Thurman, Kell Brook.
I think Chris Eubank and Kell Brook will be a good boxing match.
You think so?
I do.
I feel like he should go out.
This is a great time.
If he continues.
Yeah. The
guy's been through a lot. What happened to him, Carson?
Yeah, he's been, 2 broken orbital bones, machete to the leg.
Yeah, that's Carson's always got that one.
It's always right after the boxing point.
Because it was really such a crazy moment that just kind of like got brushed past. But
straight up.
Eubank Jr. though, natural middleweight.
Yeah.
I feel like if one of those Brits is going to get the shot at Brook, if Brook's going to keep fighting, I'm with you, Carson. If you're looking for a moment to exit out on, this is as sweet as it gets.
Beat your enemy,
and
just call it a career.
Yeah, and more on that in a second. But beating Eubank. I mean, fighting Eubank. Eubank is a middleweight who's fought guys that went on to be super middleweights. Brook at this stage is a 154 pounder, and Eubank. All due respect to him and his talent, because he is a talented guy.
For sure.
If he was going to blow and really become that star for the United Kingdom, it probably would have happened at some point. Yeah. Whereas Conor Benn has that promise. He's young and he's undefeated. If Brook's going to give a shot to one of those two guys, give it to Conor Benn. Give it to the young guy, the young welterweight who's hungry, who's still on the come up, who hasn't had that opportunity yet, who has promise. If you're going to keep going forward, the best thing for the game, especially on that side of the pond, is to give Conor Benn a shot. I don't know if that's the best thing for Kell Brook, but he's feeling,
definitely not,
quote, 23 years old again, But what I'm happy for Brook is, in this fight, is Khan put him through a lot.
Absolutely.
He beat... I'm B-side Shawn. Well, he treated him like F-side Brook. He really...
For his whole career.
Right.
Like, he just kind of poo-pooed him the whole time.
Right. In a very, in a very, like, I'm here and you're there. Almost in like a...
Poo-poo? He poo-pooed him? That's a phrase?
Yeah.
He poo-pooed him.
I don't know where the phrase...
Though,
I don't know where
Shawn.
the phrase comes from, but I've heard it.
Carson is correct. He did poo-poo him. And even all the way down to the very end with the gloves, making him change the gloves.
After the
That
ring
was
walk,
crazy.
that's crazy.
Making him come out first, making him get introduced first. Neither one of you are world champions. This is sold out because of both of you. One guy should go out first and the other guy get introduced. Like, come on. But and then coming out to Shaka Khan, like, oh, this is the song that Terrence knocked you out to.
Didn't hit the same in the slightest.
Of course not.
Yeah.
You do,
Kell Brook, all the lights was hitting the same. And then he was hitting the same when they finally got in there. But
Chocolate brownies.
So
talk about chocolate brownies. They were on surplus.
Yeah, they had weed in them, apparently.
Steroids.
I'm not sure if I've seen it. We don't need to dwell on Amir Khan much, but I just can't believe how impacted he was by every solid shot he got hit with.
Yeah, it's not good.
Like, every single shot he got hit with, he wobbled.
Although,
I was like,
in the thick of the fight, his pride made him take a couple of flush right hands.
Absolutely.
He stood up to a couple of a couple of hard right hands. That pride did keep him up. But yeah, even the jab, he just couldn't.
Everything.
He couldn't withstand anything.
Yeah, which is tough.
I had no clue, like, he was getting floored early on in his career. And like I said to you yesterday, none of that ever touched it. It never touched soil over here.
Yeah.
We never heard about it. First time we saw him getting floored and put out was Prescott. And then after that, it was kind of like he was exposed. But over there in England, he been exposed, I think, less than 10 fights or right around 10 fights. His first step-up fight. So that was 2 years into your career and you're getting put down. That means you had bad health back then. Your health's terrible now. It's time for you to retire.
Yeah. And again, had a good career, had a better career than people will ever give him credit for.
Yeah.
Kell Brook kind of, put
hard, man. I think for me it's not hard, but I think for fight fans it's hard to see all the good in someone, especially like later on. That's you see him getting knocked down and knocked out and making bad career decisions, waiting on Floyd and things of that nature. Just like is like the respect that just kind of starts to fizzle out. You know what I mean? So. And in saying that, I hope that there's something that someone does for him that says that reminder.
We appreciated you.
Yeah, that reminder of who Khan was. I appreciated what I was watching yesterday, seeing his rise from the 04 Olympic squad. Remember, I was telling you, he came over here in like 02 or 03, and he scared us. We were like, yo, what is
Hands
this?
Was that fast?
Hands was that fast. Boxing ability
One
was
of the
that
fastest hands in boxing history.
Yeah, yep.
But y'all couldn't touch his chin.
Back in the day, that wasn't what the game was about. You know what I mean? So here's the crazy thing was there was a 20-point system. Mm-hmm. So we were doing 4 2-minute rounds.
He was mercy ruling people?
And if before the end of that third round, if you were up by 20 points, they stopped
past
the fight.
The sticks? Man.
So no, actually it was 15 points. Excuse me. So if you're up by 15 points or more, they just stopped the fight. And so in the fourth round, they just let it go. But he was 15-point guys.
Damn. That's unbelievable.
Yeah. He was 15-point guys.
And every time, and to close on that, every time I see Kell Brook, I just think, I really wish you wouldn't have fought Triple G. Because I really think he would have been hard to beat at welterweight.
It was hard.
For
I
sure.
couldn't really deny that when you said that yesterday.
So
couldn't really
it's so
deny
tough to watch. Like I was like, you really like
He
was,
beat the career out of him.
Yeah, and then it was like one of those, the ball rolled. He gets his orbital bone broken by Triple G, gets his other orbital bone broken by Arrow.
Heavy handed.
Yeah, fights Bud, weight issues, going up to 60, coming down to 47. So, it was tough. But also one thing, Natasha Jonas got a world championship.
Great
with Colbert.
performance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
third time trying.
Yeah.
Got the knockout win. But then last night, the zone. I think the co-main. What the hell happened in the co-main with Williams
Zepeda getting clipped and dropped in the second by a little short check hook.
What in God's earth happened there?
I was like, I thought he was better than this.
Yeah,
They're
especially
talking about him fighting the big
big
dogs.
boys.
Yeah.
I mean, Oscar, take what he says with a grain of salt, but he said he thinks he beats Devin Haney, and I think Devin Haney lights his ass up. But, it was just weird, and we thought, I'm not sure the punch put him down. It looked kind of like he kind of cupped it and kind of pulled him a little.
Well, our
bit.
boy Hank gave him hell, right?
He also looks
Yeah.
45 years old at 25.
No, you're thinking
he
of
said that
different. You're
yesterday.
thinking of different Zepeda. That's Sean Zepeda.
And he said that yesterday. He said, "Is it me or does Williams Zepeda look old as hell?"
Got that Daniel Zaragoza thing going on.
I don't know.
Shout out to Zaragoza back.
Yeah,
in the day.
it was just a
Yeah,
very
Asian like milk.
Yeah, it was a very strange fight. He gets the stoppage, and he still offensively is very explosive. So,
But the problem is he's a guy that he's gonna have heavy hands and it's his offense, but you got to take a shot if you're the aggressive guy who's gonna be putting the heat on all night, like a Navarrete, like your boy Navarrete. Navarrete could take a shot.
Yeah.
Nobody's putting Navarrete down with that kind of shot.
No.
So that is, but it's a fight in Mexico. Maybe he's got a gear above this.
Yeah. And then gets a point taken for the guy came on him. He kind of pushed him down. It was just a very strange. Was it the second that all that happened or the first?
That was the
Was it the first
first round when all that happened.
Yeah, that
Even
was-
the push down was the first round, right?
He got dropped in the second.
It was the second.
Yeah.
It was the second round
He
where
dropped-
he got
'Cause
points taken.
He got dropped, and then the guy came after him and he pushed him.
Yeah.
kind of like forearms a little bit.
Zepeda dropped Viedas, and then Viedas dropped Zepeda, and then Zepeda
Pushed him,
pushed him,
lost
and then
the
got
point.
a point. And knocked him out in the next round.
Just a very strange fight. And then Munguia didn't look great at the weigh-in, but
sluggish in
ring.
the first round too. Lost the first round.
I agree. Yeah, I think we both had Ballard win in the first round. But then
Weighing scared the hell out of me.
and they mentioned on the broadcast, but he had those issues at 54, not at 60.
His trainer Eric Morales did that every weigh-in.
Yeah,
And then went in there and beat Manny Pacquiao. Like,
He's part of the culture.
yeah, I guess that's a Tijuana thing, I guess.
Yeah, he had those issues at 54, and everyone was like, okay, he kind of they weight bully, like you're staying at 54, go to 60, and then at 60, yesterday he's got his glasses crooked at the weigh-in, and
Took his hat off, was hot.
yeah, somebody was fanning him.
Ain't nothing I can say to anybody, but it's just a simple case. What I was saying about the guy that keep them just fought Mario Barrios.
Yeah.
You're fighting at 35, you said you're killing yourself. Fighting at 40, you said you were killing yourself. Now you feel like you're comfortable at 147. Now you moved 2 different weight classes. This kid only moved 1, but you gotta but you're killing yourself at 160.
Yeah.
You gotta ask yourself, like, are you doing the right things nutritionally?
Yeah.
And if you are doing the right things nutritionally, can you get back to 54?
And
You know
he's
what I mean? So
and he's still
that's just
was he 24? He's
25 now.
25. Yeah, he's still youngish, and he has his record's
39 and 0.
Like he's 39 and 0. Like fight somebody at this point, buddy. Like
you want him.
That's
That's how it goes.
And with the weight issues, Sean,
He
speaking
said, somebody, buddy.
the weight issue,
He's funny.
You experience an issue with the weight. It's a learning moment, right? You never let that happen again.
No, I never let it happen again.
You know everything you messed up.
You had to get a haircut
We'll tell
at the
that
Ugas
story at
weigh-in.
some
Yeah,
point.
yeah,
We'll
but
tell
I'm
You
that.
gotta
saying-
get a haircut.
But no, you're right. You never let you'll never let it happen to you again. Here, and for me, I'll go all the way back because I've talked a little bit about me fighting 147 pounds. There was one time, so when we were getting to 47, my dad was contracting the weights at one weight, but he was like, "Hey, we're gonna go in a little lighter." And so my dad had me in the sauna one day, trying to get down to like 148, I think it was, and the contracted weight was 150. And I'm like, I'm faced with like, I don't have to do this.
I don't want to do this.
I don't really need to do this, and I don't really want to do this.
and I didn't do this.
I did it, but I remember I'm gonna keep it real. Like I was crying in the sauna because it was hard for me to like tell my dad like, yo, stop. You know what I mean? And so beyond that, it was like, yo, just cry and deal with it.
That's how you made weight.
Trust me, a lot of guys, you said the weight came out of my tears, you're corny. But listen, I remember, I'm gonna keep it real because that was a learning moment for me. When I was in the sauna and I was just mad and upset, nothing, the list goes on. When I made the weight and my dad looked at me and said, "You're good, go drink something, like you're fine." And I drank something, I was fine.
Yeah.
I was like,
in the moment.
I was like, yo, I ain't never going back to that ever again. And that was actually the point where I was like, I'm never gonna kill myself to make weight. And I started treating, what I did was I started to say, I'm not gonna use training camp to get my weight off. I'm gonna use training camp to get ready for my fight. And I think every fight that I've had, that especially the prime fights, I spent my time training, not getting weight off. And that's how it's supposed to be. You should not be struggling to make a weight. And if you are struggling, it's either you nutritionally aren't doing something wrong or y'all are making the decision to fight at the wrong weight class.
If you can advise fighters, what would you say the max overweight you should go? Like 20 pounds, 10 pounds above your fighting?
What I've learned, 13 to 15 pounds.
All year long?
If you can manage that, 13 to 15 pounds.
Because easier to drop.
Because number one, if you're managing 13 to 15 pounds from your weight, that means you're training, you're staying focused, you're staying dedicated. Okay. So that's what kind of like connecting the dots, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like the dot of nutrition connecting to the dot of dedication, connecting to the dot of focus, and the list goes on. You got to connect all those dots. A lot of guys get in the ring, and those dots aren't connected, and they get exposed, you know?
And then it's easier, I would assume. I'm extremely obese, but when you get to a point of cutting the weight, if you're not having to drop late, it's just easier overall. Like you're not gonna have those moments in the sauna or just last week of training camp, you're already kind of cruising to where you need to be.
Wade and I, for this last fight, we literally were looking at each other every day, smiling. Like Monday, weigh-in was Friday. We smiling, like dapping up. I love you. Like we walking. I'm gonna just walk it down. Like that's what we were saying, and that's what you're supposed. And what we learned is that you're supposed to walk the way down. You know, other guys like to burn a lot of weight at the last moment, but I think the mindset behind that is if you burn 5 pounds in a day or in a couple of hours, then you get that 5 pounds back immediately. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so the same with me. When I would rehydrate and eat and things like that, I got my weight back on slowly. A lot of guys are like bop, 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 or they lose a lot of weight very, very in a short amount of time and they get it all back.
Yeah,
you know?
It's tough to hold it
where
it's at.
Yeah,
I can see that. But Munguia, like I said, please fight somebody at the top level. Demetrius Andrade's right there.
Well, he's moving up, unfortunately.
Pay him.
No, because I love that fight stylistically.
Or move up to find him, but I don't know. There's fights there. I would just, he's very talented. He's extremely explosive offensively. You're 39-0, you said?
39-0.
Yeah. And he's 24, 25?
25. Now
when you're 25 and you're 39-0, there's no going backwards. You know what I mean? So that's why a lot of times you see the boxing game, they move guys slowly because they don't want them to be 25 years old with almost 40 fights, and you got to fight the top dog, and you're 25 years old. You happen to lose to that top dog at 25, what are you going to look like at 27 or 28? You know what I mean?
I would still love if somehow the Canelo Triple G fight, I would love him to fight Triple G. 160.
I think that's part of why they're matching them the way they are. They want to preserve them for a Golovkin or a Canelo fight. Yeah. That's going to make a lot of money, especially Canelo. I mean, that makes tons of money. But I really like the Demetrius Andrade fight. I think right now at 60, as Andrade's moved into his 30s and gone up in weight, his legs are heavier. You know, he's not moving, especially after the first 3 or 4 rounds where he really comes out hot. He starts to taper off and pace himself in the second half of fights, and his legs aren't, circling around like they did at 54 in his 20s. So I feel like Munguia, after getting pieced up early, if they were to ever fight, he could maybe surprise people with his output. And when Andrade likes to fight at a certain pace in the second half, Munguia could get his hands going and put some rounds in the bank too and make it a really competitive fight. And so I would love to see that fight. I think sometimes it's like you got to take a chance in this game, but that's very anti what's happening with how certain fighters are moved. But I feel like, man, take a chance, put him in there with Andrade, but business wise, they're not going to.
Even if it's not Andrade, just somebody. I would like to see it because I think he's great, but we're not really. Demetrius Ballard, good fighter, but again, Munguia, you're supposed to be levels. You're supposed to be going up, but. This week, a couple big fights, a couple fight cards.
Josh Taylor, right?
Josh Taylor, unifier, the undisputed champ at 140. Jack Catterall. Don't think Catterall gives him much trouble.
The last time he was in this kind of spot, he fought the fighter from Thailand before he had to have the undisputed fight with Ramirez, and he didn't play around. He got him out 1 round in a body shot. I'm hoping that's the kind of Josh Taylor we get. He's human. Maybe a homecoming defense, not in a super fight. Just a little something comes off from the last fight. But talking to him, I try to ask him about a Terrence Crawford fight. He said, I don't give a fuck about a Terrence Crawford fight. You keep asking me about that. It's going to go in one ear and out the other. And I go, don't care about, okay. Well, you don't care about Spence Ugas and the winner of that fight either. He goes, don't give a fuck about that fight either.
I like this guy.
And so that was good.
Yeah.
He's 100% focused on Jack Catterall.
And when I met him, it was very blunt like that. When I met him, he was very he was fun. He was outgoing, all that kind of stuff. But when you started to talk about boxing, you started to analyze, talk about some things, he was just like, no.
His trash talk is similar. His trash talk is very abrupt. I was watching the press conference with him and Catterall, and he's like, Catterall's like, well, I'll beat him by being Jack Catterall. It's like, you don't know how you could beat me. Like,
he's intense,
whatever,
and has an edge. He has an edge.
Yeah.
He has an intensity and an edge to him.
Catterall,
he's a tough guy.
He's a very straight 1-2, offensive guy. The only thing I saw briefly watching him is he lunges in a little bit, kind of overextends, and a guy like Josh Taylor, very precision puncher. That doesn't.
He's a southpaw, as is Taylor. He's a southpaw who likes to box on the outside, but he's 5'7", and Josh Taylor is 5'10".
Right.
And so he's going to try and be on the outside with
that
a more...
math isn't math in there.
He's going to try and do that with a more explosive guy. Good luck. I just don't think he's going to have a lot for Josh Taylor. I just don't think he's going to have a lot for Josh Taylor. And I was kind of skeptical about... When Lopez, before he lost to Kambosos, I was like, I want to see that fight. I want to see Lopez move up.
A great fight.
Yeah, I still say make the fight.
But with him losing, okay, that goes out the window. And whenever there was talks of him and Crawford, I'm thinking, that's just going to be a bit too much for good old Josh Taylor. But then at your fight, he was there, and when I met him, he's this big. He's the same size as Terrence Crawford, except 2 inches taller. So, and Terrence used to be a 135 pounder. So them fighting, size isn't an issue. It's just who's the better man.
His height is legit. At
5'10". He's a legit
5'10".
He's taller than Terrence Crawford.
I haven't seen him up close since way back in the day. He
Right.
wasn't as big back then.
He's got a little more to him now. He's a thin guy, but he's got a little more to him.
Honestly, I'm happy to hear that. I'm happy to hear that a guy is like taking it seriously, doing all the right things, and taking the right steps. You know what I mean?
We're never going to get that fight.
Terrence
is not going to do business with Top Rank.
Right, but that's what I thought. But then Josh said we're in the same house.
MTK.
I didn't think about that till after the interview.
And also, Terrence a 2-piece, E-piece, I-pieced his ass. I don't know what that was.
But if he does, we don't have to say it's because Josh was a little guy moving
Smaller
up.
guy, it's just that Terrence is better.
Right.
I think we're not really calling for that since we know Terrence got options now. When he was stuck on that side of the street,
it's there. But one thing that was funny with Regis Prograis was talking to Jack Catterall. They were at some convention. I can't think what it was, but Catterall was like, "Yeah, I don't need any tips from like Regis Prograis." And I was like, "Okay, kind of weird." What did you think? Like, if you were, even if you're not friendly, if you were talking to somebody who had fought your next opponent and had a very close fight with your next opponent, would you not at least like maybe hear them out?
Like, I'm a different dude, so you know me. I'm gonna stand there and listen to it all. But I think for sure. I don't know. Have I ever told the story about me going to going to somebody and asking them, "Yo, how did you beat Demetrius Andrade?"
I don't think so.
Brad Solomon, another really good amateur. Didn't really pan out as a professional boxer, but Boo Boo beat me when we were 16. I don't know the year, but he beat me when we were 16. And when 17 is when you move into the open division, and that's when you start fighting guys 20, 17 to whatever, 30, whatever. First U.S. championships. We're both 17. I missed getting there. I lost in the States. And I heard through the grapevine, Boo Boo made it there, beat Daniel Jacobs. I'm like, dang, beat Daniel Jacobs.
He good.
Like, dang, he beat Daniel Jacobs. But I already knew he was good, so I'm like, dang. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I wanted to be there too. You know, So now I'm back. Now I'm up there and I'm doing my thing and we're doing our thing together.
Shawn, two for your fighters.
While I'm still after Boo Boo beat Daniel Jacobs at 152, DJ moved up to 165. So now he's back in 165. Now I'm at every tournament, but I'm losing the championships to Daniel Jacobs. So mess around, we at the under 19 tournament. And through the course of 16, 17, 18, and now almost 19, he hadn't lost but one fight. Messed around and being they did the under 19s along with the ringside tournament. I believe it was at the same time. And the guy that beat him, Brad Solomon, was at the tournament fighting in the ringside. I'm fighting Boo Boo in the under 19s. And I said, I got to do something different.
Yeah.
I can't come at this dude the way I go at everybody else because he's going to beat me. I already experienced it, and I knew, like, that's just not it. So I went to Brad, like, didn't tell nobody. I went over to Brad. I said, yo, tell me, man, how did you beat Demetrius Andrade? And so he gave me his recipe. And while I'm listening to him, I'm like, I'm just taking taking it all in. Like, I'm gonna do whatever you did.
Shawn fought Southpaw that fight.
Whatever you did.
First of all, you gotta be 5'11"
is what I'm gonna do. And I'm not gonna air what Brad said on the. I'm not gonna air it, but
it's okay. You give away the game plan now. They're not gonna fight again.
Yeah, you're right. No, but you know, I'm not gonna tell you. I would have to say what Boo Boo does, and I'm not gonna do that to my guy.
He's still undefeated. Right?
I'm not gonna do that to my guy. Okay. But again, 4 2-minute rounds. And I went in the ring and I did exactly what Brad said. And my dad, after every round, was like yelling at me, you got to go after him. You got to do this. You ain't doing that.
Brad Solomon was in the corner going.
We get the points after each round. And so, like, it was fluctuating. Yeah. A lot like my story with Alexander Usyk. True stories. Like, they were fluctuating through the course of the three rounds, and going into that fourth round, I think that we were tired or I was up 1 or whatever the case may be. I ended up beating Boo Boo by 2 points.
You could hear Brad Solomon in your ear like the little guardian angel.
My dad was livid.
Oh yeah. He don't care that you won.
Yeah.
You didn't do his way.
Yeah. So after things calmed down, my dad's like, we fought in the semis and we got to win the championship. So my dad's like, all right, let me go to his room. Let me talk to him because we got to win. He said, man, what was going on? I said, you weren't doing anything I was telling you to do and you could have lost. He said, I'm glad you didn't lose, but you could have lost. I said, Dad, I talked to Brad Solomon and he said, do this, that, do this. And that's what I did. And that's how I felt like I was going to win the fight. So that's what I did. I did.
With KPC after
my dad was like,
He went down there and found Brad Solomon.
He had a little.
You ever give advice to my son again, right?
It was a couple beats, and my dad said, "You talk to Brad." I said, "Yeah, I talked to Brad." And he said, "Do this, that," and I win. And he said, "All right,"
because he talks about borrowing other people's intelligence.
Yeah, he said, "All right, well." This is what we need to do tomorrow.
He's back on my game plan.
Yeah. He said, we don't need to do what Brad told you to do today. Yeah. He said, that got you through to this one.
Hey,
he said, let's do it.
I'm surprised he hit you with the classic black dad. Is Brad your daddy?
Yeah.
I was waiting for that.
No.
I guess Brad paid for his gloves too, huh? and drove to.
Hey. It was one of the moments where my dad was like, all right, well, my son figured it out on his own. You know what I mean?
There's going to be somebody that...
We got to go back to the room. I'm sure Brad paid for that too.
Pitches a theory about what if Shawn Porter had been trained by Brad Solomon?
Who have Shawn Porter been?
Yeah. And then closing on that, good. You got something?
A lot of guys can't do that though. A lot of guys can't be one way and then switch up and be a certain.
To close on that.
And I wouldn't encourage guys.
And I wasn't even encouraging. I'm like, at least hear something.
But your question,
maybe you can pick something up. Like
your question, you know what I mean? When you got a guy that has been in there, has felt it, has seen it, knows the real speed, and can give you a little bit more. Yeah. Yes, take what they're giving you.
Just felt very strange.
Floyd Mayweather before he beat Manny Pacquiao said he watched Juan Manuel Marquez and Eric Morales.
As he's supposed to.
So
And what do? We watch. Well, and then that's why a lot of guys said, a lot of the coaches say we don't want our fighters watching film. We don't want them thinking that that's how they have to fight in order to beat somebody. So it's a delicate situation. It's a thin line, but it can work.
And speaking of fights this weekend, who's this guy? You know these two?
Kamat Islam and Jimmy Kelly. I know Eric Bonet because of Shawn.
All right, so anyways, we got Islam and Kelly. We got Islam and Kelly fighting this weekend in Plant City, Florida. Get your tickets at
So that must have
Eventbrite /Kante and Kelly. But I want to.
And Bonet's on the undercard.
That's what I was getting to.
So it must have been
this motherfucker ruined my whole thing.
So it must have been delayed because he was supposed to fight in Plant City last month.
Yep. So on the co-main event is Mark Reyes Jr. versus Eric Bonet, one of Shawn's former opponents.
Yeah, I'm down for
Mark Reyes
for the Bone
Jr.
Collector.
Yep. So if you're down there in what is that, Plant
Y'all
City,
gave
Florida,
him that name, right?
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
go ahead and grab you some tickets for Pro Box Promotions.
And to close on the ESPN card, Robesi Ramirez, who works with one's coach Larry Wade,
Right, and Salas.
is on the undercard. But closing up with your namesake, Showtime on Showtime this weekend, prime time.
He's so fun to watch.
Yeah, Chris Colbert. Stepping in, Hector Luis Garcia.
Yes,
is the guy.
I got a chance to see him at Salas. Everybody trains at Salas' gym now.
I was gonna say, and I actually saw the interview, FightHype.com, of course. That dude looks like serious business. He's pretty.
He's tall.
He's a pretty sturdy looking character.
Yeah, but I don't. Colbert, pretty fun skill. It just
of course.
Sometimes to casual fans, the guys we deem as skilled, they like the bangers. But Colbert is a guy who's skilled, but I think even casual people, the way he lets his hands goes and the flair, the flair to his style, the way he slips shots and comes back with combinations, he's really fun to watch. I really love watching Chris Colbert fight.
Definitely say what you said earlier about Teofimo Lopez. Boxing needs guys like Chris Colbert prime time. And I was thinking about this earlier, not earlier today, but I was watching a special that they have on Deion Sanders. I believe it's on HBO Max, and he just was a smooth criminal.
Yeah,
even you can tell that he's been himself forever.
Yeah,
and the funny thing about it is when it's the first time, it's something fresh and it's new. I.e. Muhammad Ali, i.e. primetime Deion Sanders. Everybody gravitates towards it. Everybody loves it. And then you get a guy like Chris Colbert, and everybody's like, oh, he's trying to be such and such. Chris Colbert is prime time.
Yeah.
He just happens to be the next prime time. But that dude is explosive. He's electric. He is very entertaining. And I have no clue what you're talking about.
He's got Brooklyn on his back, baby.
He's got Brooklyn on his back, apparently. And I love to watch Chris Colbert. Yeah. I really do.
I mean, that's out here this weekend, but
you going?
If Shawn's going,
I'm going. You're referencing this Shawn,
of course, the only Shawn. Yeah. And I'll be honest. I think Chris Colbert. I wish it was still fighting for the title against Gutierrez, but
of course,
whatever. But the undercard actually might be almost more exciting. You have Gary Antoine Russell against Victor Postol. Which Postol?
Hell of a fight.
Is he the same Victor Postol we saw, fight guys like Bud? Of course not. But
it's a measuring stick.
Absolutely.
This guy went 12 with the best. Yeah. Can you get him out of there? Kind of thing.
I think Gary Antoine's speed is going to be a little bit too much for Victor Postol.
I agree.
Pete Boots Ennis and amateurs.
Yeah, Gary Antoine Russell, you talk about somebody that probably should be getting a little more praise than he is.
Yeah,
so him and Brandon Lee at 140.
Yeah,
that's the future. Just like we talk about Boots and Virgil at 47, at 140, it's probably Brandon Lee and Gary Antoine Russell.
Yeah, what do you think about Gary Antoine just overall from what you've seen of him? He had a knockout win last time we saw him.
Yeah, his explosiveness, and I think it's kind of like his ability to. It's like everything he's got in his corner. It's like it all goes in the ring and right before him. It's all happening. You know what I mean? So. As the maturation of his life is supposed to be, he's exactly where he is right now, where he's supposed to be. You talk about, you saying, hey, he doesn't get as much praise or as much love as Boots is getting right now.
I didn't mean Boots specifically, just other fighters.
Oh,
carry on.
I think that it's only a matter of time.
Yeah.
For for Gary Antoine.
You think this could be maybe like kind of a showcase performance? I mean, if you knock out Victor Postol,
yeah, it has to be
like in
for
big
him.
Fashion.
Yeah, it has to be. And those guys, man, the Russell brothers. The thing about them is like they there's no mercy button for them. You know what I mean? So I don't expect this fight to go the distance.
Yeah. And then Jerome Cajas.
Just for Colbert one more time,
Go ahead.
man.
Yeah.
When I was out in Brooklyn, first getting to cover fights, Danny Garcia knocking out, along with Bernard Hopkins, my other favorite fighter ever, Eric Morales, killed him, ended his career with a left hook. Little young Chris Colbert was in the audience in the Barclays.
Yeah.
And everybody, all the trainers that were at the fights, they go, oh, you interview fighters? He goes, you need to interview him. This is Lil B-Hop. And Bernard's my favorite fighter, and I'm like, why did they call him Lil B-Hop? They go, fights like him, blah, blah, blah. But he was like a legend in the boxing circles in Brooklyn as a little teenager. Like not a 16, 17, 18-year-old, as a 13, 12, 14-year-old. So he's got Brooklyn on his back. So I'm hoping Chris Colbert can live up to that original name bestowed upon him, Little B-Hop. Yeah. So
I intend to. I hate that I started it, but I started it. So I intend to at some point do some seminars and things like that. He is someone I would pull into a seminar. Show these guys what you did to market yourself. Show these guys what you did to promote yourself. A lot of fighters think that it's the promoter's job. It is the promoter's job to promote the fight. It's your job to promote yourself. He's done a fantastic job of doing that. Like you said, way back, I remember being at the Barclays. I'm like, yo, who is this little dude? And he's talking such a good game and telling you that he can do this and do that. And it's like, you just tired of seeing him. But then once you see him actually working, hitting the speed bag without looking at it, you know what I mean? We can all do that, but it's just something that's a little different when it's prime time, you know what I mean? So I'm a big Chris Colbert fan. I can't wait for the fight Saturday.
I think
I'll probably be there.
I think a big performance would be nice. Would be nice for him.
So now Carson's going. Yeah. And Ant's going.
I think maybe a knockout would be nice for Chris Colbert in this fight. Like I said, the dude, like he looks serious, but like the King Tug fight, he did really well, but it wasn't like it didn't match. You keep mentioning like the flair, the talking, and he's great at that. Mm-hmm. And he needs like a performance like this, headline in the fight, just knockout win, say something crazy in the post.
There's questions regarding his power.
Yeah.
Because in King Tug, he hit King Tug with everything.
Yeah. And King Tug's sturdy guy, but yeah, let's see if you can get a statement win that I mentioned earlier. One of the longest reigning champs on Cajas is the third fight on that.
Oh yeah.
Gonna be a good. He's had his title since 2016.
Yeah. Great left hand.
Yeah.
Always has that great
He's
Filipino left hand.
What's that weight?
He is at
118, I believe.
I think he's at 15.
Yeah. That's right. Because him and Sorung Visai were supposed to unify all those years and never did.
Yeah.
And
he's at 15. I also think his nickname is Pretty Boy. How do you go with the nickname Pretty Boy?
That's Floyd.
Yeah. Floyd passed it down on Cajas. Is that what you're telling me? But he's a fun fighter to watch. I think that is going to be an action-packed evening. I think it's at the Cosmopolitan.
Okay.
Which is
I felt like it was at
nice
the park,
venue.
even though it's not. It feels like that should be at the park.
Yeah. I don't know why, but it's weird. You're right, because that's what I've been seeing in my mind. Like I'm like, I'll be
now.
there.
Am I lying? Is it not at the Cosmopolitan?
No, it probably is, but I'm just saying this should
Nice
be at
venue,
the park.
Cosmopolitan, nice venue, top of quality. You gonna be dressed to the nines?
I'm always
You dressed to this motherfucker. You gonna be dressed to the nines?
I'll be all right.
I'll be dressed to the 8. We know you're gonna be dressed to the 9s.
10.
You know what? I'm gonna give you this right now.
Okay.
The world champion of fashion and boxing goes to my man, Showtime Shawn Porter. With that being said, we got a new segment. Porterway Fashions reviews the fashions.
Okay.
And we're gonna start off with your favorite fighter of all time.
Fashion reviews the Porterway, huh?
Yep.
Classic.
And we're gonna start off with Sean's favorite fighter of all the time. We're gonna give you how many fashion. Out of 1 out of 5, how many fashion gloves will you give my man? And what do you guys say about his outfit?
It's basic. I give him a 5. It's a basic tuxedo style bow tie.
Classic.
I've never worn a bow tie. Don't
should pull that
intend
off.
to. ever wear a bow tie. Y'all know me, man. When I see Marvin Hagler, anything that he was about, I was about. So I'm actually entertaining the thought of possibly wearing a bow tie. But he is dressed, as you would say, to the nines. That's
If you can pull off a crisp look like that, it's big time. Like
for sure,
very classic.
It's a classic lapel right there, not too wide, not too thin. I mean, it's a sharp suit.
It's rare you see.
It's a sharp tuxedo style suit.
It's rare you see that much class.
Yeah.
These days, a little bit of a lost art.
That stood out to me. That stood out to me, and I knew that would be special to you.
Oh, absolutely.
To start off this segment.
Good looking guy too, man.
That was the end of the segment. Is there just one?
Yep, we only doing one
week.
Okay, so we ain't gonna be
Moved to Italy too.
I mean,
Gotcha.
we'll start throwing in some more. We might throw in you. You know, see how you review.
We'll just blur out Shawn's face and we'll say, "Hey, what do you think of this guy's outfit?" It was like, oh, it's terrible.
Check it out. Check it out. This is something that you
Taking
don't.
a shirt
Okay,
off.
Sean reviews
Taking
of
my shirt
fashions.
off.
Okay,
Not taking my shirt off, but
What you
something
got?
you don't see too often.
Oh, you right.
I got the red. I got the red
Okay.
button. You don't
Okay.
see. You normally it's just white. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So to see him with, I'm sure he's got those little things that you put in those tuxedos. But you know, something to set you different will be having like
So it's
a
just
black button
It's just
down.
one button.
Yeah, just the one button.
Sean reviews of
you don't-
fashions.
Usually you don't want to click the red button.
Portaway fashions on the way.
There you go.
Portaway fashions.
No,
Down the
it's
road?
not Portaway Fashions.
Oh, I just made that
We'll
up.
get
Did you guys
we'll get
see
there. We'll get
next
there.
this season's holiday 11s?
Oh no, that was the segment
Yeah.
of Portaway fashions presented by.
Boom.
Shout
That's a wild sponsor.
out to my boy Dane for coming up with that idea. Great idea.
Fashions to Portaway.
Okay, so we'll change it next time.
Yeah, fashions to Portaway.
There you go.
That's it.
Yep.
That's it, guys.
How many gloves did? Never mind. Just
How many gloves did?
the
damn
Carl
Garcia
can I
suit.
get?
Your car can
Three, at least 3 out of 5.
I like I give you 4. I give you 4.5. You 4.5 because that back in the day, you know, the 90s was about those loud colors. I miss that, man.
That's what I was coming with.
I miss that. As y'all can tell, like in my stuff, like it's a little louder than usual.
I told you before on Carl Kanai that it never hit. I'm young, obviously younger than you, so that wasn't my era of attire. And in what's the song? Montel Jordan. This is how we do it.
Oh yeah.
And he shouts out Carl Kanai.
Yeah.
And it was after you had talked about it, and I was like, what? And I was like, oh, that's what Shawn was talking about. Okay.
It's like
Young buck.
Yeah.
Young buck.
Yeah, that wasn't my era, but
Mine
maybe,
either, but
maybe you'll see us. Maybe you'll
pretended
see us
it
at the
was.
Cosmopolitan. this
Maybe you
weekend.
see us. Hey, come up. Hey,
Maybe you won't.
Carson always willing to take all the pictures, kiss all the babies.
If you want a picture with me, have higher aspirations.
that's Ant. Ant kisses the babies and loves the pictures.
The word that I was hearing during Shawn's fight week was Ant was the celebrity.
That's what I'm
Ant was
saying.
taking the pictures.
Yeah,
Nobody
I
was-
kiss the babies. You know, I do all that. I take pictures. Da, da, da. I'll sign your wife's breasts. I'll do all that. I do the 9.
There you go. I think starting the music right there is probably a good call.
This is the Portaway. And with 2 T's.
That was a good outro.
Oh man. Oh man. Oh, he gonna take that and use it on. He gonna take that and use it as a damn thing.
What's up? I'm Showtime Shawn Porter.
I'm Ant. Follow me on IG. Ant with 2 T's.
This is the Portaway Podcast. This is Anthony Brunel, and this is Carson A. Merck. Tell them what to do.
Hey, like, subscribe, comment, follow us on all social media platforms.
Subscribe.
I'm from Louisiana. I'll talk with a B. Let's do it. Let's do it again. Let's
All
do it.
right. Just introduce yourself.
Okay.
And then tell them, and then you tell them what to do.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Portaway
You're here already.
Podcast.
You're already here.
Hey, this is our outro. We're gonna do it how we want to.
I'm Showtime Shawn Porter.
I'm Anthony Brendall.
Carson A. Merck. Like, subscribe, comment.
This is the Portaway.